Hey everybody. Okay, so welcome to show number 2. This is Empowered Meals, and I'm Donna Meals. That's who I am, and that's what I do. Basically the goal here, I think I may have reiterated this before, but it's really to empower you to gain food knowledge and the wisdom to use it. So kind of had termed my own little word, and it's called foodgamification. So been using that for a little bit, but basically, there's a combination. It's knowing what you should do and then having the wisdom to do it. Knowledge of what you should eat and why you should eat it. And, the other side is understanding basically how to influence yourself and influence your own personal desire to create that habit change so that your critter brain, your subconscious, actually tells you that that's what you want to do. So that's true habit change. Anyway, so I'm gonna start with a quote, and I'm an avid fan of quotes because we should learn from all of our leaders. This particular guy is Henry Ford, and basically he says, his quote, he's got like a zillion of them, really wise guy. Well, I mean, he started Ford Motors, but if you think you can do a thing, or you think you can't do a thing, you're right. And so, I mean, that just really goes to, that was life coach hat. That really just goes down to how we all work. So I'm just starting this out, and I need some momentum, of course. So I would love anything that you guys can participate and share. I asked the gentleman who posted his cookies, a picture of them yesterday, and said, "Hey, can you share that recipe?" And he goes, "How?" And then I thought, that'd be a tech question for, I'll have to figure that out. But I did go, and I'm a YouTube fanatic. I learned so much. All the best teachers are on YouTube. So that's where I'm going. I opened up a channel there. I still started my own. It's just my name, Donna Meals. So I got on my mom's phone yesterday and tried to find when I posted yesterday's video. I didn't come up, which is kind of weird because literally I've had a YouTube account. A paid account for years and years. So anyway, so I'm joining that deal over there, and I don't think you can post recipes there either. So today I'm going to be working on my website after I get done with this. So I took me an hour yesterday to go through all of the just basic stuff, the basic food gamification that I'm going to go through on this channel. And it may have been long, but it was all stuff that needed to be said. I got a few really great comments. One gal commented about, I'm sorry, I'm so really bad with names with my little neuro thing. I lost some memory for short-term memory ability. Anyway, so she had mentioned that she was just really stoked to hear about the, the meaning with the words, and the kind of the double meaning when you say lose, as in lose, or, oh my God, I lost my cell phone. Lose weight. So it's very confusing to your brain. So release weight is a much, much better term. And, shout out to several people that they actually use that terminology around just like it was nothing. And that's actually something that, I really need to kind of get with too. Like I said, I'm gonna have a swear jar. Again, I'm going to reiterate yesterday, there's 2 camps of people that I've found here that are members, and I can tell by their comments, and you either have a really good program or some type of ideology that's really working for you, and you're just needing to expand, find some new things, recipes, and other things. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have like a life hack segment, and which is all about implementing things or helping yourself turn your brain around to, desire change. And then I'm going to have like a food hack section, and that's really for the chef and me to get out there and say, hey, did you ever think of this? Can you try that? So I'm going to do that a little later on, but actually probably next. But the topic that I want to talk about today is just really reiterating and going through that whole idea of the food fumigation, because there's two types of people, and then there's two types of issues. Okay, and the two types of peoples are, like I said, those that are set in and they kind of know what they want. They just need to spruce it up, get variety, kind of like somebody that's been, I don't know, you've been married to the same person, you need to like get a little spice. So that's me, queen of herbs and spices. Wow, do you even know the difference between herbs and spices? Most people don't. They just all know that it's flavoring. And herbs are the dried leaves of a plant, and spices are usually the dried, ground, or sometimes they're whole. Spices usually refer to the seeds and or stems and or root of a vegetable. Like ginger is a root, turmeric is a root. Coriander is a seed, and it's an herb because we use cilantro. That's the cilantro is the herb of the coriander plant. Used also in not only in Mexican food, but then also in Asian food too. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe the Patagonia thing, when the tectonic plates split, maybe some of the plants went somewhere here and somewhere there. And anyway, but they're used in very different ways in coordination with other spices according to where those indigenous people live. Remember I was talking, well, hopefully you saw my episode 1. This is number 2. Hopefully you saw that yesterday. I mentioned how we all have different needs for our nutrition, for our bodies to work, not only just our blood type, but where we're from, our lineage, our history, our culture, our social, and our genetics of where we hail from on this planet. Everybody's a little different. So that's why we require things that are different. I mean, I know for myself, when I walk into the health food store, or if I'm trying to do some research, for a specific ailment, this is a really good tip. Okay, always look up naturopathic cures for, or natural cures for, when you're Googling something, for whatever the ailment is. And I mean, not everything's going to be top notch, but, use your intuition. And if you look through enough of them, you'll get an idea. It's just like anything. I'm sure you all know that from searching through things on the internet. But it may tell you, well, if you want to become ashwagandha and then lavender, I mean, there's different things, but, ashwagandha and lavender, they may help you in those areas, but they both have, other specific purposes too. And they're from different areas in the world, because not everybody had access, even in the Stone Age, to all of the plants all over the world like we do now. Only problem is we have so much access to everything that it gets kind of, it's mind-boggling. It's confusing. So, like I know for myself, if there was an issue that I had or I was trying to research, I'd find 20 different herbs for somebody to go, for me to go buy. When my hair was falling out, I was like, oh my God, I went and I checked out. I'm going to have to stop saying, so I'm going to swear jar. I would buy 5 or 6 different things when I probably really only needed 1, maybe 2. So it's easy for everybody to kind of get lost in that too. Because there are so many choices. With food, there are so many choices. And that actually can be a good thing. And I'm going to get into that in the food hack section here. But so really that's, my idea was, like I said, is to address two kinds of people here. One is there's so many of you that say, I'm doing Atkins, I'm doing the R3, I'm totally into IF, which is the intermittent fasting, and I'm going to do a show on that. There's a couple of brilliant doctors that I have been gathering up really good insight from. So I'm going to probably try and condense that and do that next week because it's so prevalent right now. And you can apply that and kind of integrate it into whatever you're doing. It seems to be a lot better for people who are a little older because we don't require as much. Young and old, two totally different things. I think I may have illustrated that yesterday. Okay, so the second group, they're like my cousin Helene. Shout out again, Helene. You still never called me. I'm going to do a thing with her and her sister Kathy. And I think also I'm inviting a long lost relative, one of their, we're all kind of in the same family, but a cousin I haven't met since I was, I don't know, probably 3 or 4. And we're probably going to do a little group Zoom call private session. That'll be really cool. And it'll be nice to, get with family. So, anyway, a lot of things that need to be addressed there for my cousin. She has all these health issues, and just my idea is like taking the baby steps. And I think I laid that out for people yesterday. When if you're brand new and you said, I need a regimen, I need a this, I need a plan. The very first thing that you really should do is do a nice detox. And I have a couple. I've narrowed them down to the 2 that I do. One is a nutritional fast, and the other is just doing a macrobiotic, just brown rice, clean vegetables, steamed fish, chicken. It's a little harder to do that if you are vegetarian. It's because you need a little more variety for protein when you're vegetarian, but there are other options too. Anyway, anybody that's interested in those programs, I have them documented. That's an easy, can send that right out to you. Be happy to do that and answer any questions you have on that. And they're just usually, I have one that's like a nutritional fast, which is mostly liquid and supplements with easy to find in health food stores, all of that stuff. Sometimes you need a blender, sometimes, they're all different. So, anyway, if you would desire something like that, then just email me at challenge@wiselifeconsulting.com. Okay. Any questions you have, comments, whatever, you get a hold of me there. Okay. Let me finish. I didn't wrap that up. So anybody that is going to be doing something and trying to reestablish new habits, your first thing you want to do, detox. Get a fresh, clean palate to start with, okay? That's kind of what I'm doing right now. As far as I have a lot of food allergies that I got to the bottom of it, and it had a lot to do with what I mentioned, my hair loss, weight gain, or the weight gain was from the medication I was taking unknowingly, but losing the weight was kind of not, it just didn't happen with all the things that I've tried before. So I'm doing a reset. I did the detox. I've been doing this program for about a couple months now. It's about almost 2 months. So you need to do the detox thing, and then you need to start allowing your body to repair itself. And that's just eating super clean and gentle, things that require low digestion. That's all part of the detox thing too. And then you need to start rebuilding all of your nutritional stores. Okay. That's something that happened to me, and I'll put that right out there. I mentioned yesterday, one of the hardest times in my life was I had a 2-year-old, a 5-year-old, a fledgling catering business that had just exploded. And this was 2003. And my ex-husband was a Marine, and he was sent to Iraq. And so here I am. I mean, I had one friend, love you, Sharon. She just lost her husband to COVID this year. Say prayers for her. She and Lou watched my children. Oh my gosh. Every time that I had an event, that was 6-7 months that I was on my own like that, running this business and with kids. And stray cat came in, had kittens, and everything that could possibly happen. And I was just, my hair was on fire, going Mach 28. And they watched the kids for me when I had most of my events, a lot of times, because they don't have daycare during the hours that you're usually doing parties. So God bless you, Sharon, and thinking of you and Lou up there in heaven. And so I just wanted to mention her. She really was a huge part of my success in life. But I was crazy, and I pretty much forgot to eat. I would go, I don't know, 12-hour days. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, did I eat today? Did I go to the bath? Did I pee? You know, I totally didn't take care of myself. And I did a lot of self-medicating. I instead of sitting back and going to sleep and having nightmares of, you know, is my husband going to get shot or no? Because back then there was nothing, you know, that you had no communication. And it was right when the war had started, so they wouldn't be able to communicate anyway. They were all kind of out there on the front line. But in order to appease myself and and calm myself, I self-medicated, drank a lot of white wine and didn't really eat enough. And I totally hollowed myself out. That's how I got sick the following year. You know, some weird mystery. Every time I ate, I didn't feel well. And, and that's why I went to my original naturopath. I'm going to draw in another really important point that usually no one wants to, they will never change until they're forced to, until you either, till you're too big, you can't leave the house, or the doctor says, hey, we got to talk. So the goal here is let's get you to that place, hopefully before any of that occurs. And if it has, then you fall into category 2. And I would love to help you with that in any way I can. And, hopefully something that you gain here either just gives you a new perspective or new way of looking at something, is what I mean, or just spurns you to be inspired to look in other places and do your own homework and your own research. Like I always say. Let me sip here. I have this really awesome herbal tea that I found. And I'm part of my thing I'm not allowed to have right now because it just tings as danger is ginger. And I can already feel my nose is starting to run because I didn't realize it was in the tea. Until I start, I'm going to have to tuck that away, and hopefully I can have that at a later time. But so anyway, yeah, that's on my allergy list. And definitely I have to say, and that's going to kill me because I make so much Indian food and so much Asian food with fresh ginger. I may have to go to Galanga. Oh, that reminds me, I am going to do a cooking thing this week, maybe tomorrow, probably tomorrow. I'm probably going to make some curried, I'm going to do a veggie dish and a meat dish, but you could, you can substitute in too and do other things, and or just eliminate the meat. Kind of hard to do in a really good curry, unless you have some really good vegetable stock, but we'll get into that later. But I'm going to do an Indian curry, and I'm going to probably do like a fresh pomodoro basilico tomato sauce. Yay. One of my favorite vegetarian things. And I do it over spaghetti squash. So look out for that tomorrow, either tomorrow or Thursday. Don't know yet. I have to figure, still trying to parse all this out. So, okay. So the food hack question my food hack section here that I'm going to go over today, it kind of inspired by a question I had actually the other day from a gal named Stephanie from Guatemala. And she basically was asking, she says, I live in a place where there isn't a whole lot of vegetable variety. And maybe she probably lives in a very remote area. I don't know. So it sounds like she needs some things to spice up her variety. Okay. Well, one of the things that I kind of like to do, and this is what I did in my teaching when I was teaching international cooking, was I had this thing where, if you're just doing vegetables, you can take the same couple of different vegetables and, just apply different strategies of seasoning. Like, and I probably need to update that, but I've had that in my little bag of goodies for a while. I have this, it's called, geez, I invented it and I can't figure, sorry, neuro. But I have this little system that, where I group together different things that go well together. It's the 5 flavor theory. So I'm going to put that together and I'm going to get that to you guys, but maybe we'll get into that too. It's really cool. It's for anybody that wants to teach themselves how to be a little more creative as a cook. Teach yourself how to cook, They're just guidelines. They're recipe blueprints and you plug them in, it's kind of cool. So I'm gonna be revamping that and I will get that out too. So back to Stephanie, here's some ideas. Okay. Given that, the idea of the blueprints, okay. So I could take some vegetables. I'm an avid fan. I call some garlic, onion. There's this category that I call them stock vegetables because they're always prevalent and present in the underpinnings of pretty much most recipes, the ones that I deem that taste good, okay? You really want to have depth of flavor, and these stock vegetables are what give it that. That's why you add stock, whether it's vegetable, fish, beef, chicken, lamb, whatever. That's why you add stock to a soup or stock to a gravy, because you want to intensify the flavor. And the best way to do that is to, utilize these veggies. Okay, so I said onion, garlic, they're my 2 prevalent. I always make that. And there's some people that don't. Shout out to Sharon. She hated onion and garlic, couldn't do it, allergic. You can get by without that, but there's other things. There's fennel, which has like an anisette flavor to it, like a licoricey flavor. Ooh, I have a really good vegetable minestrone recipe, and we'll have to do that. I will share that. Okay, I'm getting ideas. There's too much. So back to that. I could take simple veggies, and you've noticed by now that I just go right down the road because there's too much information that I have in my head that I'm desperately trying to get out. So please bear with me. All right. Back to that. If I have, some onions, some garlic, some zucchini, tomatoes, I could make a curry out of that. Or I could just have curried vegetables. I could put a little, Madras curry powder, or, everybody has their own little version that they like. I make my own. I'm crazy like that. I love to roast spices and mix them. I have great recipes, and I find them from the oldest Indian grandmother, that's on YouTube. I can look at a recipe and say, oh, that one's good. And I just know from, all those years which ones are going to fly and which ones don't. So, excuse me one second. Okay, so you could take that same group of vegetables and throw some oregano, basil, olive oil in there, and there you go. It's a whole different thing. Whole different thing. You know, the whole idea is gathering variety. And what I normally try and do, remember I mentioned, you know, if I set somebody up and I get them to do a detox, and then I get them to start implementing a very simple macrobiotic thing where they're just doing just basic, easy to digest, very bland, you know, but add some different flavors and different things in there. And then I take them on the place where I say, okay, you're going to have to do this maintenance for yourself. You know, you're going to have to fly, little birdie. And here, let's work on, what do you like? I mean, I sit down, I go through this extensive thing. I send out different surveys on what you eat, what, you know, how many people in your family. I really try and get in there and find out what people, you know, what makes them tick when it comes to food, you know, dinner. And you want to get like 3 base you know, like standards, you know, like some people, and everybody does, okay? There's some families, they have spaghetti one night, you know, a week. Well, there's a million ways I could do spaghetti. You may not like them at first. Okay, like my coffee, when I couldn't put sugar in it, when I realized how bad sugar was, and I went to, you know, fake sugar. Oh, that's going to be part of my thing later, but went to fake sugar, and I was like, ooh, I don't like that. And somebody said, try stevia. I was doing the agave, still a lot of carbs in the agave, a lot of sugar, whatever. Finally, I went to the stevia thing. I was like, yeah, it's not going to work. And now, no problem. You know, it didn't take very long. And that's all part of the life hack portion of, you know, you're taking control of your brain and what you like. I'm going to get into, you know, that. We're going to definitely do some shows on that too. I mean, when I was going back to that food gamification, knowledge of what to eat and why you should, okay? Most of the people that are coming here that have their own thing, they're already good with that. You know, they just need variety. And then there's the other group, you know, that need to read how, or figure out, learn how to influence their own specific desire, have that critter brain programmed to want to eat what you like. And the reason you like is because you damn well talked yourself into it through depravity of what you really shouldn't have. And then, you know, we will go and we're going to be okay with narrowed choices if we allow ourselves to. Remember if you guys watched my thing I talked about yesterday, that little toddlers, you know, if you tell them not to do something, that's when they want to do it. Same with your brain. So if you don't focus on what you can't have and you just focus on what you can have, okay, that's the mental hack. I mean, for life, really. I had this little thing, just a little up in my office, and it was there, and I hope my kids read it or saw it enough. They probably just ignored it, but I hope that they took that into account, because it was there in the, you know, front door when you walked in every day, and it said, the happiest people in life don't have everything, don't have the best in okay. Dang, should have brought my little plaque out here. Happiest people in life don't have the best of everything. They just make the best of everything. So true. So true. Oh my goodness. You know, and it's like I said, it's all about the way you look at things. So I will now segue onto my life hack idea for today. Okay. I mentioned it yesterday. Dear old friend from high school, Stephanie, she mentioned, yes, gratitude, because she gathered that from, you know, my little, my little hour-long chat yesterday that I posted. If you didn't get to watch it, go back. I mean, it covers a lot of stuff. There's some really interesting topics, and it just brushes on all the different things that we're going to do. And maybe there's something here that you really would like. And, you know, you can make suggestions on what you'd like. So anyway, so my life hack, again, I'm going to reiterate, gratitude. We all have emotions and feelings, and gratitude is one of those. And our emotions, they're centered in our solar plexus, okay? Our heart is over here, solar plexus down here. And that is our bottom section of our body, okay? This is our literal, guttural, our animal portion of our body. Our heart and upwards, this is where our mental and intellectual side is, okay? That really can control the emotional part down. I don't know, I hope you understand that, but and I will go into that later too. That has a lot to do with chakras. I think it's a very overwrought term, but we do have specific centers of energy in our body that people refer to as chakras. But part of the reason that they contain certain glands and endocrine glands and other organs and things that are connotated to that or denoted to that each one of those chakra areas and that's why they are important. It's not woo-woo like I used to think. The more that I understand about ancient cultures and religion and health, etc., we really are all interconnected. Everything is. But I'm going to get back to gratitude. Gratitude is an emotion, and it is that they've done studies where actually I listened to a lot of Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Love him. Okay. Super smart neurologist. He's on the cutting edge of trying to help people heal. I mean, he's helped people heal cancerous tumors with their mind. I mean, it sounds way out there. It's happening. It's documented. You're just not going to hear a lot about it because the lobby is, there's too much money out there with all these entities that want to keep you sick because that's how they make their money. So I know I'm a rebel. So gratitude, when they hook people up to specific electromagnetic readings in the brain, etc., there is more energy involved with the emotion when someone is feeling gratitude. It's a higher vibration, okay? And vibration just really refers to the wave, the energy that travels in wavelengths that we can't see everywhere. That's what Einstein talked about. So it's about quantum physics, yes. That's a whole other deal. But I guess what I'm saying is it has also been discovered that the feeling of gratitude, that emotional feeling, the energy that it gives off, will completely and entirely alter your brain chemistry for the better. There are more good feeling, receptor modes that open up, and there are more good chemistry that are created with the feeling of gratitude than any other emotion. It's king. So that's why I have a gratitude alarm, and I take it for granted. Sometimes I'm busy and I go, oh yeah, it's my gratitude alarm, turn it off. And I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? Stop what you're doing. Stop and smell the roses, everybody. Everyone gets so caught up in just being crazy, and having the anxiety. Like earlier, I was writing down my little spiel that I'm going to talk about today, and I was like, oh, it's already 12 o'clock. It took 2 hours for that thing to load yesterday. It did. I had no idea. I put out a thing going, hey, look for between 12 and 2. I didn't get done until 3. I don't think it posted until like, 3. So, live and learn. But it totally lost my track of thought, but I'm sorry. I'm trying to do too many things here at once. But when I was doing it, I got a little anxious thinking, I have to get this done. Because I have to get this out here, told people to look out for it. And then it's one of the mental hacks that I've learned to do in my coaching, where you have to go, wow, all right, stop telling yourself that you're not adequate. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Okay, you're talking about Miss Type A, perfectionist, caterer, where every single thing came out on time, pretty much, That was it. That's why people hired me, because I was insane and it was perfect. And, I had a lot of success, but refer back to hollowed out. I was crazy. I was really just emotional mess because I didn't know how to regulate myself and be okay with, things that are just life, So if you want to use my idea, I say, yay, go for it. Set an alarm, maybe just twice a day. And then, think about that. I mean, honestly, when you think about it, we've all most of us have grown up with that anyway. Most every major religion has prayers before meals, okay? I remember praying before I went to bed. That's being grateful for everything you had. You're going to bed and your brain is going to marinate on the gratitude of what you just went through and remembering all the people that you love. It's a bummer that we don't do that anymore. We should, okay? At meals, having everybody hold hands. The only time we do that anymore is Thanksgiving, or Christmas dinner or whatever. Well, my family, we do, we were kind of raised that way when we get together as a family, but most don't. And, there's an honoring and a being grateful for your meal that gives you the good, all those great, beautiful, lovely feelings, and it helps you digest your food better. And guess what? You're going to get more out of your food. So that's an entirely different thing that we can go into. I could spend 2 weeks talking about this stuff, So let me know what you're interested in. Email me. I'm gonna go. I swore it wasn't gonna be long. We're at 38 minutes almost. Okay, we're gonna end it at 38 minutes. Might only take 2 hours to load. So I'm going to bring up a cool product. This is something that I just tried this morning. Okay, Ticino, and not cheap. I'm looking for a place. Oh, there's this place that I go on, iherb.com, where you can, used to be able to get pretty much all the products. They're in the health food stores way cheaper. I don't know if that's really true anymore. I got to look into it. But this Ticino, I'm not allowed to have coffee, okay? And there's a lot of bad things about coffee. It's very acidic. That's another topic we should talk about. It's very acidic, and it is dehydrating, and caffeine does a lot of things for you, to you. Yes, it's great to keep you awake, whatever, but honestly, I discovered that in college when I needed to stay up real late to do a project. I have a degree in art, and I'd be up senior year, sitting at my drafting table, doing my projects. It was an architectural design kind of curriculum. And all my housemates, they'd be leaving for the bars, and I'd be sitting there and draft, and they'd be like, oh, Donna, if you get done, join us. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, sure, great, awesome. And then they'd come home from the bars. And they'd be like, oh my God, you're still doing this? And I'm pouring tea all night long, green tea, black tea to begin with. Green tea, there's more caffeine in black tea, less in the green, less than even so in the white tea. And, and then even once or twice, my one college roommate, Rosemary, I hope you're watching. Oh, I'm gonna have to send you a message. She had this boyfriend, and my drafting table was in the kitchen because it was huge, and half of us lived downstairs and half of us lived upstairs, and the girls lived upstairs or downstairs and the guys lived upstairs. Anyway, it was a weird house, but anyway, Rosemary had this boyfriend that she that would come in from Chicago. We were 60 miles east of there, and what's his name? His name was Lenny. He was so fun, so funny. What a good guy. He was in the Coast Guard, and he had to get up at some god-awful hour and go, even if it was Saturday. So everybody comes down from the bars. I'm still working. I'm doing my project. I'm trying to graduate. And Lenny comes up. They all go downstairs. They're all sleeping. Lenny gets up early. He comes up, and there I am, still drafting, still drawing. Couple times. Yeah, that was hard. But I stayed up drinking tea, and it has a lot less side effects and also some good things inherent in the tea to counteract the caffeine, which a lot of coffee doesn't. So that's why coffee can be on the no list sometimes, which it is for me. So anyway, I found this tea, and I said, dark roast. Well, I tried it. It amazingly, and I think this may have just been because I am in that going back to the depravity mode thing. I may be so depraved that anything that looks dark like that, to me, it's going to taste like coffee just because I want it to. No, actually, it's not bad. And I've tried a few teas with chicory in them too, and they totally remind you of coffee. So it's kind of like my coffee. It's my little special thing that I have once a day. All right, not gonna lie, I've had 3 of these today. But it does impart energy. This particular product has a lot of fiber and different things in there, so it's cool. So anyway, check it out. If your doctor said no coffee, that might be the deal for you. You might have to buy 800 pounds of it online to make it reasonable, but I think that was $8. So okay, so that's my cool product. And one last thing, my fun fact, artificial sweeteners, because I was talking about flavoring my coffee with stevia because I had to get rid of the sugar. Sugar is I'm going to go into this. I think either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not sure. Sugar is an enemy, because we eat so much of it. It doesn't have to be. You can have a goodie here and there and whatever. Love me a Krispy Kreme donut. I don't even know when the last time I had one of those was. I don't even desire them, to be honest. But I would love to have myself like a little, there's a million things. I'd love to have a little cheesecake. Yeah, I make an awesome New York style cheesecake that is absolutely, it's bulletproof. So if anybody really wants a good recipe for that, email me. I'll get it to you. It's really cool. So, okay, back to the fun fact. Artificial sweeteners, in neurological terms, anything like aspartame, however you pronounce it, I'm not really sure. Sweet and low, equal. Okay, well, let's go colors. The blue packet, yellow packet, pink packet. All of them are in the realm of what neurologists call excitotoxins, and just like MSG, okay? I know a lot of people back in the day, they recognize when they eat, Chinese food that they got MSG headaches. Okay, what's the headache? Okay, when you're hungover, what's the headache from? Oh, that would be your brain clearing out the dead brain cells. That's what the headache is. That, and usually sometimes, dehydration too. Okay, dehydration will give you a headache, but definitely you are going to get a headache if you've killed too many brain cells. And you can easily do that ODing on Diet Coke, okay? People drink Diet Coke because they think, oh, it's less calories, it's less fattening. Wrong-o, okay? First of all, it kills your brain cells, and because it's an excitotoxin, and we can get into that. But the second thing is, it's just mere poison for your body, and your body has to spend all this energy to rid your liver, your kidney. They have to go into overtime to get rid of those terrible, horrible poisons. Definitely going to have a thing on toxins. You know, they're in your clothes, they're in your face cream. Gotta read the labels, gotta, you know, some of it's inevitable. I mean, when I go to buy my Maserati, I know that the leather is gonna be conditioned with stuff that I don't like. Got that Maserati, I already went, sat in it. They won't let you drive it till you buy it, but it's coming up, and I played some, I invested some money in something that I know is really going to pan out. I'll tell you guys about that later. So, guess what I was getting at is these artificial sweeteners are really, really bad for you. Go with the green packet, stevia. It's natural. There's nothing wrong with it. It's totally a natural, abundant substance, and there's a million different sugar products out there. So look and make sure that it's not a half and half of the bad stuff and stevia, because the word's out that it's bad. So look for something that's natural stevia product, okay? So I guess that's good for now, and love you all. Please get in touch with me and let me know if I can answer any questions. Challenge@wiselifeconsulting.com. Okay, be good.